Hi, my name is Sofia Catalina, and I am a junior at the Bromfield School in Harvard, Massachusetts. With unlimited resources, money, time, energy, and motivation, what could I do? What positive impact could I bring in my community? What needs to be changed, and what could I do to help transform the world I live in? When I asked myself these questions at first, the answer did not come easily. The environment is a global issue I care about immensely, but what could I do to change it? I had heard of many of the problems that are affecting our world, but in some ways they all seem too big to handle. Because how could I change something that has already happened? And how could I fix something that already seemed broken beyond repair? Every year, thousands of people hike up this mountain to see the beautiful foliage in the fall. But what will this look like in 100 years, when our grandchildren's grandchildren come up here? Will it still look the same? Last April, I traveled with EF Tours to the first annual Global Student Leaders Summit in Costa Rica, and this is the source of my motivation. Before this conference, I knew environmental sustainability was an important issue, but it seemed out of reach. Now, I know differently. With education, I was able to grasp that we can, through individual steps, bring big changes. We can all be global leaders. Every one of us can make the difference, and by working together, nothing is impossible. When I returned home, I made many changes in my lifestyle. With the environmental club at my school, I made plans to create alternatives to paper plates and sub-wraps in the cafeteria. We also sold coffee mugs and water tumblers in an effort to reduce the use of disposable cups and bottles. In class, I take notes on my laptop to save paper. I joined a town committee called the Harvard Energy Advisory Committee as a student member, and every other Wednesday I meet with them to discuss energy conservation and alternative energy possibilities for the schools and other town buildings. I was inspired and motivated after being educated in the difference we can make, and from this I created my idea of a socially responsible business that would, through education, create environmental awareness. My business would provide the resources and tools necessary for schools to educate their children in environmental awareness and sustainable lifestyles. We would tackle important issues such as energy, paper waste, waste management, recycling, composting, and water conservation. Environmental education would be integrated from a young age into the school curriculum, and classes would be directly connected to the real world. However, like any business, I would need to make money. Schools would have to pay my business to come and set up the environmental curriculum, but once their students and faculty are better informed, they will be able to save money on their own as they conserve energy and make more sustainable choices, both in the classroom and outside of school. My company's job would be to set the ball rolling for schools across the country, all of the United States, and then eventually throughout the entire world. If every person were taught the importance of their environment, if every student decided on their own to be a global citizen, that generation of workers would then spur on each other. I know that education can make the difference between preserving the environment and seeing it waste away. It has definitely made the difference for me. I have been fortunate enough to see how small changes in our behavior can lead to major differences on a global scale. If every child is taught at a young age the importance of preserving the environment, whether it is just turning off the faucet when brushing your teeth or recycling, this can make a huge difference. In order to save the environment, it can no longer just be big technological improvements. Instead, there has to be a major behavioral change. Through education, we can make this change. We can make the next generation sustainable. We can create a massive public knowledge so everyone knows his or her responsibility as a global citizen to preserve the environment. Fixing our environment is not going to change overnight, and it is not going to happen through one giant technological breakthrough. It is going to happen through every citizen of our planet working together. The company I would create with unlimited resources would provide the education needed to spur the change that will change the world.